getting at with the book script? Spit that shit out, man!
Do you want to form an alliance with me?
Absolutely, I do. Excited.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
Oh my God, I did not think he was going to do that. That scared me. That actually scared me a little bit.
It's called Two Brothers. Two Brothers. It's just called Two Brothers.
Welcome to another episode of Two Brothers and
a black guy
and
friend.
And this one's going to be an interesting topic for tonight's episode. I think it has potential for being a pretty deep conversation like we did with the mental health episode also.
It does indeed.
And that's basically why we still enjoy video games, why we still watch movies, why we still read comic books. This idea was suggested by Josh.
Why we love it.
But I think we all kind of vibed with that idea. It's a pretty good idea.
So I think we're going to show how much of a loser, how much of nerds we are, and losers we are.
Hey, we're not alone, Josh. We're not
no,
alone.
we are not.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we are not.
Hey, people can say whatever they want, but the reality is nerds rule the universe, all right?
That's true.
So that the dude you're fucking with in high school right now, he's going to be your boss one day. And guess what? You ain't going to like his ass. So
but yeah,
it's
so
just that simple.
I wanted to open it up by talking about, well, just going around and basically asking that question, why we all still play these games, why we all still watch these movies, especially considering, I think, in this age where there's a lot of fucking shit coming out that is just not great. You know, with Josh talks about like remakes in movies and video games, a lot of comic books that just keep doing the same thing, keeps like rehashing things that would normally deter people who would love these mediums. We still enjoy them. You know, there's a reason why there's a Two Brothers podcast with me and my brother Edgar, because we still love these things. We still want to hold a torch for video games and for comic books and for movies and shit like that. You know,
yeah.
So we're just gonna go around. This is like one of those like like in the campfire, just like outside
man.
at night. Dude, we're just talking.
Marshmallows out.
Join us.
So
S'mores sound good right now.
Who wants to start? You want me to kick it
off,
off, or
yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. Look, I was thinking about this when Josh told me about it, when we talked on the phone about doing this topic for this episode, and then you showed me the what's it called, the Robert Rodriguez filmmaking, like when he talks to another filmmaker, what it's called?
Oh, the director's chair.
Director's chair, right? And he does one with John Carpenter, right? And there's a moment when John Carpenter talks about why he directs movies, why he loves it still. And he said that, like, what do you say, that it that's where the world makes sense to him. I have to agree when it comes to a consumer of these things, with video games, with movies and comic books, and we'll get more into it as the episode goes on. But just like on the surface, just like as my answer, it'd be, I just, that's where the world makes sense for me, dude. You know, it's a way for us to safely explore worlds, whether it's based on true stories, video games. You know, Josh and I have talked about like why horror movies are can be cathartic sometimes. You know, it could help you kind of cope with grief, with depression, anxiety, stuff like that.
Fear, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I still love these things. You know, movies and comic books, because it's a way for me to make things make sense. You know.
I also wanted to say, like, real quick, I think you really you kind of got me a bit with like that perspective when we were talking about horror movies. You know, horror is not really my genre. I like more like psychological thrillers, zombies, monster-based horror, rather than like you guys like slashers, you know. But I mean, I know you guys like that stuff too, but you know what I mean. That's my like preferred type of horror. But I remember I was talking to you about it one time. You said like, I think horror movies are a good way to like conquer like our fears. I never saw it that way, because I only see it as like kind of glamorizing fear, and some of it does, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a subset of horror movies that do that, but
I just thought your perspective on that was unique, because I never saw it that way, so I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And I mean, unless you want to, did you want to talk about leading into why you like it? Because
yeah.
Because usually you're the quiet one. You know.
He's getting excited, people.
Did the happy
I'm going to
dance.
pull a Maurice here and talk for a while.
All right.
Okay. All right.
How can I start this? Well, like with with
God.
Josh, I don't know if it was during
The disrespect.
I don't know if it was during the during a recording or off. But he was talking about how he brought it up to his boss that he likes to read graphic novels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it went down, but I don't know if he gave you that, not stink eye, but like you're reading fucking comic books
Like
still.
you're weird.
It's not
and
a
shit.
real read. Is
Okay.
what he said. Yeah.
Which
I hate when people
which
say
I
that.
fucking disagree.
For
Let
sure.
me go there for a minute.
100%. 100%.
This is gonna be like you on a fucking soapbox,
Dude,
It's like when people say the Bible isn't real reading. It's like, you read it then.
Right?
You feel me? Like,
Dude,
shut up.
I think we talked about it since the first episodes of our podcast.
Mhm.
Dude, there's amazing fucking stories in graphic novels and comics that you don't fucking get to see in the big screen.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
example, like the run with Venom. He introduces a new
Are you talking about the Donny Cates?
the Donny Cates
Yeah,
one.
okay,
He
okay.
introduces Noel and all that.
Yeah.
And leading up to the biggest event and all that. That's, to me, was great. Like, we'll never get to see that maybe, you know?
Or done as well as
Or
like it is
done
in the
as-
comic
yeah.
books. Yeah.
That's one thing that's I love about reading graphic novels or comics.
Yeah.
God Country was another
Yeah.
a story.
It
that,
was formative for Donny Cates too.
yeah.
Right. I mean,
So there's things that you can pull out from comic books
Yeah.
and relate.
Yeah.
You know, and if you do your research on it, like you find things like, oh, now I see it differently now. You
yeah.
know?
Sometimes the writers will come out and be like, oh well, I wrote this during this time when I was like going through depression or when I was going through a tough time,
Mhm.
and then you're like, oh shit, like that's something I was probably going through at the time when I
And
was
you
reading,
read-
and I related to it, you know.
And let's go with movies now. Lately, I've been watching a lot of foreign comics, movies.
Foreign comics.
And it's like rewatching, like I'm rewatching again, like movies, if that makes sense. Like you're so used to watching
American films or
American
yeah.
films, you see it made differently in other countries.
Yeah.
It fucking blows my mind, right?
The Man from Nowhere is he.
Right.
Just got the Blu-ray recently. That
Yeah,
shit is
we
tight as
finally
fuck.
got Maurice to watch
Shit
it,
is tight
dude.
as fuck. It's like if
Mhm.
Taken was a Korean film and like better too.
Right.
So it's so good.
There's moments like I'll pull it like Halloween 18. I told you when we came out of the theater.
Yeah.
The opening, the cold open to it,
Mm-hmm.
and leaning up
To the music.
build up and
yeah.
the music and the title screen.
Yeah.
I was so like giddy, like a fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know.
So I
That's
felt when
something
I-
that you
yeah.
don't get when I don't know. Like it's hard to explain. Like that's something that movies do to you or shows.
Yeah.
There's moments.
I think in that moment when
Uh-huh.
you watch those movies, whatever it is for
Mhm.
you, like whether it's in the theater or at home, you're just like, okay, whatever fucking problems I have going, it's out the door.
Yeah.
These next 2 hours, fucking just
Take
take me away,
right now.
dude. Like
we'll,
you
we'll
know,
save it for the next episode. But like X-Men '97. There's moments in that shit like we were
Yeah.
like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
What else? Video games, same thing. Like you know,
Yeah.
we just talked about it, and I think it's out. Red Dead. It's
Red
like
Dead
a great
2, yeah.
example. Like
Yep.
it's not going to be replicated in media or in
Mhm.
show. They'll
Mhm.
try, but
It's not gonna be.
it's not
going
going to be the same.
Yeah.
You know. So
It also adds that element of you controlling the character, you feeling like you've had an impact in the
Mhm.
game and shit. So, yeah, I agree. man.
So that's my.
Your 2 cents for now.
For
'cause
now,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll get in more into it. But moving on to Josh, because you're the one who did bring up this topic for today's episode. I'm curious as to one, what made you come up with that topic, and just like why you still love the arts, these mediums.
Edgar said it perfectly. He feels like a kid. He's getting giddy. He's excited. As you start growing up, your life gets busy, right? You have responsibilities. You get stress.
Yeah.
You want to make your money. You want to do your thing. whatever, right? But there's still that part of you that still wants to be a child. And these are the things that allow you to hold on to your inner childhood. You know, comic books, video games, movies, you know. X-Men 97 is a perfect example, right? We all watched that when we were kids. I watched it when I was like in first grade, second grade, I don't remember, you know, and then being able to watch that now at the age of 39. Yes, I'm old. I get it, guys. But you appreciate that, you know, like, you know, the bringing back your childhood. When did Resident Evil 4 come out?
2005.
Yeah.
How old were you guys?
Oh, dude, I was 10. I was 10.
I was 6.
13. Yeah.
13. So you guys played it when you were young, right?
Yeah.
And then to play that remake and knowing that it's like as good as the original.
Fan fucking tastic.
How does that make you feel, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think back like as if you were a child playing it for the
damn,
first
dude,
time?
Yeah.
You know, that's why we hold on to these things, right? You know, like people who get into comic books later, get into video games later, one thing that they're missing is that childhood effect, I would say, unfortunately, right? Like,
Yeah.
no hate, you
No,
know,
yeah,
like I think they can still enjoy it, absolutely, but they're missing that like nostalgia aspect.
It won't connect with them the same way.
Yeah, you know, like when Force Awakens came out, let's be honest, it wasn't bad. We all enjoyed it. It was hyped up. I remember one feedback that I got from someone who saw it for the first time, Force Awakens. He was like, I never got to see the Millennium Falcon actually in the movie theater until I saw Force Awakens, you know? And I'm like, okay, like, there you go. Like, I only got to enjoy it as a kid, renting it, you know, on VHS, whatever.
Yeah.
But to actually, like, see it in the movie theater for the first time, it made me go back to thinking that I was a kid, you know?
Damn, man.
You know? So I think that's a big part of it is just, you know, a part of you. Come on, anybody who tells you that they don't have an inner child, they're full of shit. You know, they're liars.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
we all do.
Or they live a very boring life.
They live a very boring
Because you have to fill your time with something.
Yeah,
you
no, absolutely. And every aspect, I think everything that we're also going to talk about, you know, it is art. We talked about it earlier. All this stuff is art.
Yeah.
You know, comic books are able to take actual books to the next level because you see the painting and what the artist is going through as the words are displayed in front of you. You know,
it feels, just staying on the comic books for a second, like it feels like it's two stories being told. Like the drawing that you're seeing, and then like the actual story you're reading. You know?
Absolutely, and the imagination that you're putting into it as well.
Yeah, and just knowing like, oh man, like someone actually wrote this thing. Someone actually drew every little small detail. Like, you just appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I agree. Maurice, what about you, man? Like,
yeah, it could be pretty layered, so I'm gonna try and keep it brief, at least for this part. But yeah, I mean, I've always had an intrigue to just like arts in general, because growing up I used to draw mainly, but then as I got older, it just was really more media art. So yeah, I mean, this is all going to tie back to my faith, because pretty much everything does. But before I had a relationship with God, I mean, it was all about movies, man. Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's still my favorite movie of all time to this day, because of the spiritual connection I had with it. You know, at that time, I didn't have a relationship with God. It was more just routine, you know, religion, go to church, but it didn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, God's going to reach you where you're at, and entertainment was where I'm at. You know what I mean? So, like, kind of like what you were saying, like where it makes the world make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it inspires me, man. Storytelling is the thing that really, like, I connect with more. You know, most people connect with sports. Some people it's drugs and alcohol. Some it's travel. Maybe it's a mix of all those things. I don't know. I want to travel, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the arts, you know, for me first it would have been, you know, film and music, and then gaming a little bit later. Not as much these days, but I mean, I'm in love with Resident Evil 4 right now, so you know, but I mean, I think that's the thing for me. I think the storytelling in movies, video games, TV, comic books. Like I notice I'm a very like emotional and like very sensitive guy. I don't really cry a whole lot though. The last time I cried was because I was having a panic attack. That never happened before, so obviously I'm freaking out. I don't get those often though. You know, that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing, I'm just like, man, when I see something in a movie that like really inspires me, like I just can't help it. I'm just like, this is so happy, so good. I'm tearing up. Like I saw Bad Boys 4 today, and it's just like
it made you tear up, dude.
A little bit, bro. Like there was some scenes in there where I'm just like, because Mike Laurie has a son now, you know, and like the
I don't
story,
know any of these characters.
the story that they tell, it's Will Smith's character.
Okay,
Will Smith's character. Yeah.
You're all like surprised and you have like no idea.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you watch that?
Yeah, but I'm like, no, it's just it's inspiring to me. I'm able to like interpret entertainment in a way that other people don't really get, you know, because like I said, a lot of people just they see stuff like this, they figure, you know, you're a kid, it's overrated, blah blah blah. But I can't even buy into that, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, the majority of society is obsessed with sports. We just prefer a different form of entertainment. It's all down to personal preference. You know what I mean? It's like, I know some people are just like, oh, movies are boring and they're all rehashed and video games are a waste of time. But you watch every football game.
That's a good Josh impression too, Maurice.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you.
I like sports.
I'm not talking about you.
I love sports. Anybody watch that NBA Finals yesterday?
So
let's talk about that.
But no, I mean, people, you know, there's a lot of people who are like that. They're just like, you know, they think all this stuff that we're doing, you know, is for kids and it's a waste of time, but they watch every game that comes on. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just like, it's down to personal preference, you know? And you can like both, Josh. You can like both. Absolutely. And I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about just society in general. But I mean, the arts inspire me, you know, and they inspire me to inspire others because I'm working towards the same thing. So,
what were you? You had your.
Oh, I was going to say that, you know, it's okay to talk about crying because pretty much everything that Alberto has read or played, he's admitted to crying. This man is a very emotional man.
Man, I'm a top
when it comes to crying,
baby man, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, Maurice brought up like Bad Boys. I'm not gonna fucking. I know. Go ahead and dog on me all you want, but like when I saw X.
Oh my god.
And his Jigsaw's voice came on. I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking 10-year-old again. And it's like,
did you cry?
No, I didn't cry.
Oh, okay.
I didn't cry, but I was just like, oh, he's back, dude. He's fucking 90 and he's back, man. Like, it's fucking awesome. No, which leads me to my next thing, you know, because Josh brought up how like certain things nowadays can bring you back to being a child. You know, like Resident Evil 4 remake, X-Men 97. For me, like I said, like watching X-Men 97 brought me back to because I was really young when I saw that, so I don't remember too much of it, but like the imagery, the animation, it stuck out to me. I was like, damn, this feels like I'm transported back to the 90s again. Yeah. And that brings me to my next question. What was the latest thing that you can think of? Or what are some example of things that did bring you back to like this is
to a simpler time.
This is making 12-year-old Josh
to a simpler time. So you mean something that came out like in the modern time that brought you back?
That's a stupid question. You already know the answer to it.
Yeah.
X-Men 97, motherfucker. Come on.
Examples. Josh,
multiple,
what else, man?
Multiple.
No, X-Men 97. Obviously, the Metal Gear re-release. You know, I know it's
collection?
Cash grab, but
you bought into it, man.
Dude.
You bought into it.
I'm working on 3 right now. Oh man, you know, that Final Fantasy 6. I talked about that on our last podcast as well. You know, shoot, even when we talk about Halloween, and then hearing Edgar talk about like Halloween 2018, they do that. And they do a freaking great job doing it because they're fans of it. We're fans of it.
That's true.
You know, and it brings back our childhood, what we grew up on and what we love. So if it's, I know I shit on a lot of remakes and stuff like that, but if it's done right and it's done with the right people,
you just can't help but love it.
You have to love it.
Yeah.
Some remakes can be good. It's just rare,
Absolutely.
You know. And even if it isn't good, if you know when you're gonna buy it anyway. So you know what I mean.
And then you have to always talk about Spider-Man too. If you're gonna read a comic book and you read Spider-Man, everybody loves a good Spider-Man story because why? Because he's the most relatable character. shit that he goes through, how humanized he is. You know, like that is always going to be nostalgic for me.
Yeah, I
as
agree.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Eddie? I mean, like, you're gonna also say X-Men '97, but like, is there
Just say
anything else,
X-Men
or-
'97. Start with that.
we
Throw that
really,
in his
we
face.
really want to talk about X-Men '97, but we're gonna save that for another.
I've only
episode.
seen the first couple episodes, so I'll say something different.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it so far, though. Cyclops is badass. So,
He is
yeah.
Reading Ultimate Spider-Man.
really.
Like, this is what I've been asking. Like, I've been telling you too. Like,
Yeah.
they should reboot every fucking superhero in Marvel and start it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's what they gave me. And when I think I told you that too, is like reading the first 5 issues. Like, if I was transported back, like when it was published.
Tell me, Nider, like when we bought those comic books, like the day of. This is another thing we can talk about is like going to the comic book store to grab the new issues. It brought us back to when we first actually started collecting comic books back in 2015, right? Oh man, like getting Ultimate Spider-Man or Absolute Carnage, King in Black, like knowing like, oh, today it's out, we're gonna go get it.
That
Like,
is the best part of being a comic book fan is every time you step foot into a comic book store, you feel like a child again.
Yeah, dude, right? Like,
You
it's
know,
just
every time, you
you go to
everything about it.
you go to the toys for a minute, you check them out, and you go get your comic books.
Not for a minute,
you
man.
know?
Come on, dude.
Okay, that's true. Yeah,
30
you
minutes.
got me, yeah. But and I got into it late, you know, like collecting comic books, going every Wednesday to pick up comic books. But you bringing up Ultimate Spider-Man, like, yeah, dude, it just reminded me of when we first started going to
like
buy
for me,
comic
like
books, you know?
like I said, it was like if I was when like Amazing Fantasy 1 came out. To me, that's how it is when I was reading it. It's like, this is what I wanted.
Yeah,
To
like
get
that
a
was
new,
your
like
Amazing Fantasy.
yeah,
Or something?
yeah.
Okay.
Again, like I said, Halloween, just the title card, like with the pumpkin and the classic text.
Yeah,
you know, know
yeah.
that
The music,
the
and all
music,
that.
everything,
the little film grain and stuff
everything,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, dude, that's
Again, I touched it whenever it's like all these horror films. It's like I'm watching movies again, like relearning.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's kind of cool that way. I like that. There's
Yeah,
I can
dude.
keep going, you know, but yeah, there's a little.
What about you, Maurice? Like what is the latest thing that you've seen, played, heard that you're like, oh fuck, this brings me back to when I was fucking like a little kid again? Like, you know.
It's hard to say, man. It really is, because it's like a lot of the stuff that I like. I mean, I watch, you know, like new franchises, new movies, games, stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff I like is old, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, if I could think of a couple right off the bat. So I didn't play the original Resident Evil 4 because I wasn't allowed to play M-rated games growing up. So I bought the original for PS4. I honestly just couldn't get through it because I knew they were going to remake it, and I'm just like, modern mechanics are going to be better for this game, honestly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I love the blend between action and horror. Like, Resident Evil is its own thing, obviously, but it kind of reminds me of Aliens a little bit. Like, you know, how they kind of bring that world together. Aliens, and like a mix between like Aliens and Evil Dead. And it has like its own horror element to it too. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. And an example of like just a great remake too, because I'm on the Father Mendez boss battle right now, and I've been playing a bit of Mercenaries too, and it's so fun. It's fantastic. There's this other show. It's an older show. It's in early 2000s called, like I said, some of the stuff will be new, some will be old, so just bear with me. It's an early 2000s show called 24. It's like basically each season takes place throughout like one day. So it's
Oh, that's
like
the
a
concept? Okay.
yeah, it's like a action thriller. I like that one a lot because, you know, action is my favorite genre when it comes to like film and I guess TV too, but they don't really make action shows anymore. It's really difficult to do, you know. So it just kind of brought me back to a time where it's just like, man, it's really solid. You know, they got about 10 seasons. It kind of dips off after like season 6, but season 5 was woo. I mean, like, it's like, imagine Modern Warfare 2 meets like a 90s action movie for a whole season. It's fucking crazy.
Has anyone beside Maurice watched 24? Have you watched 24, Joe?
I have not.
It's like I would recommend season 1 through 5. Fantastic.
Yeah, like every episode is like
Fantastic.
an hour, right?
Yeah. So it's not like all the same day. So like the first episode, the first season's like 1 year, and then the next season's like 2 years later. But every single season takes place throughout like 24 hours. And it's super fast paced. It's really cool. Great villains, great action, great characters, really good music too. Like, and it's like it's got like it's one of those shows where, it's like you have like a good guy you root for. The main character's name is Jack Bauer. He was a government agent who works for this branch of the FBI called the CTU, which is counterterrorism unit. But one thing I really like about it is like it's not so clear cut who the good guy is, because it's early 2000s. Obviously, there's a lot of like a lot of the villains are foreign, like Russian and Middle Eastern and stuff, but the Americans are like just as bad. You know what I mean? So it's just like, who am I rooting for here? You like them, but at the same time, it's very like there's a really big gray area when it comes to morality or even like patriotism, and I like that because it's nuanced, and a lot of
you would like the Metal Gear.
Yeah. I mean, like the action and the like the world building in it is, I mean, it's really cool. So yeah, I recommend season 1 through 5 for sure. Yeah,
that makes me want to touch on music just a little bit because I think it's actually good timing. Because have you guys heard of the new Eminem song?
I have not.
I have not either. I don't follow him anymore. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
He came out with a new song called Houdini, which is basically what's it called? Without Me, right? The one that came out all that. It feels like I got transported back to when I was a kid listening to that Eminem song too. Without Me, like right? That's how it felt for you.
It
when
feels
you heard
like the OG Eminem. Yeah.
Very rarely do you get artists that like go back to the roots like that. Korn did that on one album where they just sounded like
back in the 90s, when they first started.
Yeah.
Do you like that, Josh? When artists go back to their roots, so that way you're like, oh man,
this makes me feel like
there's a reason why they do it, because they're no different than you and I.
Yeah.
Than we,
right?
They miss it.
Yeah, they miss it,
and we miss it too.
We all have like that again. That it's that inner child that you're bringing out. And maybe that's what Eminem is doing.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I hold on to a lot of 90s R&B and hip hop,
like music and stuff.
Music
like that,
wise, like there's nothing close to it.
You remember how old you were? Remember what grades you were in? You remember what you were wearing?
I remember my first CD that I bought back in the day. 112, that white album.
Did anyone else have a CD player? You had a CD player, right? Like a portable one?
Yeah, bro. A CD player,
bro. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
But so, remind me again, Josh. Do you have your vintage consoles too?
No, I don't.
No? So does at any point, like when you're playing like Metal Gear Solid for example, does that make you want to go like, I want to go fucking
get it in 64?
Yeah,
I want to go fucking buy a PlayStation right now just to play this one specific game, or like it has
all the time. When you grow up, you don't think about like how things are going to be in the future and things like that.
Yeah.
You get rid of your Nintendo, you get rid of your Super Nintendo, and then 10 years later, you're like, that was the worst mistake I've ever made in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting to a point where creators who enjoyed these things like we did when we were young, they're bringing them back, and that's okay to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about TMNT, for the Super Nintendo, Turtles in Time, and they re-released it for the Switch and the PlayStation, Xbox, and they brought out Shredder's Revenge, and they do that specifically to pay respect for what is in the past.
So they just remastered the games?
Yeah, in the Cowabunga collection, I think.
Cowabunga collection. I got
How much
that
is
day
it?
one.
It's like $20. No, $20 at this point. Yeah,
it's on PS5?
Dude, it has every fucking team.
Yeah, it's PS5. It's on every console.
Yeah,
now.
everything.
Yeah.
All the
music.
I
want to play it.
All the fucking screen.
I'll be honest. I'm a casual TMNT fan, but I want to play it still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
it weirdly enough, like this conversation, we can kind of touch on like preserving physical media also.
Yeah, because that's something that I do, and most people don't. Most people do not.
Because like nowadays, yes, you can just like Dune 2, just buy it digitally, just watch it. Or you can still go out to a fucking Walmart, buy it, pick it up.
Let's talk about that. What do you guys all prefer? Do you prefer to do digital?
No, on physical media for sure.
Digital on some things, physical on most things.
Yeah, especially if it's iconic, right?
Yeah, I'm physical media for sure. Like usually, so let's say like because I collect like 4K and Blu-ray movies, and most of my games too. I have physical as well. Like if I say I see a movie on streaming, I don't really like it as much, but I might watch it again. That can stay on streaming.
Yep.
But if I know that I want to like have it and also keep the business progressing, you got to vote with your wallet, right?
Truth. Yeah.
You know, so it's like if I see a movie today, like I saw Bad Boys 4 today, if I like it enough, which I did, I'm probably gonna have to pre-order the 4K just to keep that going. You know what I mean? And because I want to have it, I have all of them except for that one.
Well,
So,
it's also just
yeah,
unfortunately
you know?
it is dying out.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because even like I went to sell. That was not a good decision. I went to sell a few of like my books and games and movies. I didn't want them anymore, so it's whatever. But I was better off just giving them away because someone would have appreciated them more. And because like I traded in quite a lot, like at least in my eyes, like $100 worth of stuff in my eyes. It's this place called Second and Charles, and I got like $30.
How dare you?
Dude.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
I've made
And-
worse decisions. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just made
Well,
it
we all
worse.
have life regrets.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But no, like honestly, because you know this is a part of me. So you know anyone who is like close level and it's like, look, I know this is a lot of stuff. You can have some of it. I can give some of it away, but like this is important to me, and I can't let you have it for $2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's cool because like
So,
Guillermo
yeah.
del Toro,
But-
like he made a good point too. He said like if you have these movies like on Blu-ray or whatever, like you're like a librarian of these things. You
For
keep
real.
these
For
things,
real.
you know, and one
Yeah.
day they will be very important. You know,
Yeah.
because it is dying out. A lot of people
thank
do
God.
prefer.
No, I say that because I fucking buy a lot of movies.
Yeah, me too. Me
No,
too.
hey,
I
Del
even buy
Toro,
like some TV
you know,
series
Del
too.
Toro's giving you
Yeah.
the blessing, like, dude, keep it, man.
Yeah.
Like
Doesn't matter
like
if you
for
fucking feel
example,
you're hoarding
on
it.
that, like for like a couple months ago, on TikTok, they were saying 28 days later it's not streaming anymore.
I remember that.
I have that one on Blu-ray too. Yeah, I have 28 and 28 weeks too. Yeah.
And that shit went fucking off the roof. And I was happy that I got it. It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, 'cause
because some
it-
shit just is not on streaming. You know, so
Yeah, you want to keep that.
yeah.
that
It
you
will
know.
be soon because they're making a third one.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it'll be
this is
Oh,
gonna
okay.
return for sure. Yeah,
What is it? 28 months later? Is that what it's called?
I don't
years.
know.
28
Yeah.
years.
28
Yeah.
years later. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang, we jumping. Okay.
No, just like examples like that. There's movies that they're not streaming.
Yeah.
Like there's
Oh,
one
yeah.
that I want to get and add it to my collection because I'd rather have it.
Mm.
That shit's like fucking $100 right now. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you about the Abyss? It was $100 on Amazon. They bumped it down to 40, and I got it. It's so fucking
For,
good
4K?
on 4K.
Yeah.
4K and Blu-ray. It's
You
so
have, you have
good.
Josh to thank for that one.
It's so good. It is so good, and they're releasing True
underrated.
Lies soon as well on 4K. So
should-
yeah. So yeah,
No,
it's
yeah,
a damn
man,
good movie.
it's-
Underrated.
Very underrated.
It's
Underrated.
interesting talking about like preserving physical media and all that shit. Yeah, because this is gonna be a plug for my TikTok. Yeah, we're on TikTok now, guys. It's called Two Bros.
It's called Two Bros.
And
Same
I do
thing
a
on
little
Instagram.
I do a little series where I talk about games that you might have forgotten. And one of them that I eventually will talk about is a Comic Jumper. You remember that one?
yeah.
And
What's it called?
Comic Jumper. It was for Xbox Live Arcade.
Okay.
And unfortunately, there's no way you can play it unless you have a 360 and unless it's installed in your fucking console.
So
And
there's no like physical
other
version.
way,
It's
no
all digital.
physical
Yeah.
No, it's like
Yeah, it sucks.
it sucks because like it's there's certain things that are like dying out.
Yeah.
And like you gotta hold on to that shit. But more on top, like more to that is like that experience of walking into a store, grabbing it, looking at the back, looking at the artwork for the movie, or video games when they get the fucking instruction manuals and shit.
I miss
'Cause
Blockbuster.
nowadays you just buy a fucking
really,
game
really
and
do.
you buy it and it's just the disc
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It
you got to
sucks.
think like Best Buy isn't doing movies anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out all of their.
Remember when you
all
would
their
buy a
stores.
freaking like you would buy a game and it would have like a whole cheat code book in it, like
Yeah.
you would be able to
Of-
copy
of
all of
people-
them.
people
Yep,
that
like
fucking-
all the characters and everything. Yeah.
One of my best memories is as a kid going to movies, buying movies. Did you guys ever know Media Play? Were you guys around when Media Play was around?
No.
Is that at like another store like Blockbuster?
It was like
beforehand?
Best Buy. Actually,
Oh,
was
okay.
the best way to describe it.
Mm.
But they solely they just had movies and I want to say just music. Those
Okay.
were the only things that they sold.
Movies
so,
and
so their
music?
movies
Okay.
were like their selection was so huge, I remember I would go there as a kid, at high school, I think at the time, and every paycheck I would just walk Media Play. And I'd try to find like movies I'd never seen, movies that were nostalgic that I had to watch, you know, things like that. Anything and everything that you can think of, cinema-wise, they had it, you know. And I just thought about that just right now. And you know, our kids, my son is not going to be able to experience that.
Nope.
That feeling of going to a Blockbuster.
Hollywood Video. Yeah.
Hollywood Video. What am I going to rent today? You know, like
one of the last ones was here in the Bellows on Chambers Road. That used to be it's an AutoZone now. That was a Blockbuster. Yep.
Yeah, I went to Walmart one time and I was looking at their movie selection. It's like tiny, underwhelming. You know,
their selection sucks, yo. That $5 bin is garbage. I
gotta do it at home now on my couch and find a movie, and it's just not.
You do that with
same.
You do that with games too. Like I when you buy games digitally and you're just like I know I do this. Like I sit down, I'm like, oh fuck, the game's all the way over there. I'm gonna just play something digitally, or I'm gonna buy it digitally knowing I have it physically. I just can't. I don't want to fucking. It sucks because like. I feel like I should be continuing that practice of like, oh, let me go grab what game do I want to play, and like opening it up, putting the disc in, or doing it with the movie too. It's like
we're the lone survivors, man. We got to
preserve that.
We got to preserve it, yeah, for
like,
sure.
When was the last time you walked into one of those types of stores that has like I guess you call it like a mom and pop shop, like a retro? You go in and just like there's movies and.
They don't really exist anymore. I think there was this one YouTuber I watched named Chris Stuckman. He does like movie reviews.
Yeah.
He went to like one of the last Blockbusters in America. I think it's in Ohio. Of course it's in Ohio. But yeah, that's like one of the last ones. I think that was like 10 years ago though when they had because they do everything because they're known very well there. It's like the only Blockbuster in America, but I hope it survived COVID, man. Like that's rough, you know.
Man.
But
the only thing you can think of that's like nostalgic that you can walk into again is really a comic book store.
That's about it.
That's it.
That's about it.
There's still the one place where they have the fucking back issues.
Yeah.
You know, where you look for the fucking. Or over here in Mile High, if you don't find it, you fucking you have to go call someone, and it's like a fucking sci-fi movie, like Lord of the Rings, just a fucking old guy just coming out from the fucking back.
Yeah,
like, I'm looking for this comic book, this issue, it's this variant, and I was like, let me consult with the fucking the comic book gods. Let's see if I can find it for you. You have to wait there and shit. They got the the 80s, 90s music playing and shit like that. Like,
You talking about Heroes?
No, Mile High over here.
I'm not a fan of that place.
I'm not a fan of Place of either, but
if
you want to feel like you're going back in time.
Remember, like when we first started, I sent half my check in there.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
It's like,
just half, Edgar. Just half.
Basket and just I want that and
that. They would call it the sea, right? Like the
sea,
ocean,
the
where
ocean
you gotta fucking we'd volunteer there and like I don't give a fuck about this comic book. I'm just waiting for the 4 hours to be done so I can go get these fucking comic books
for free.
For free. I think we're the only ones that took advantage of that system.
We did.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's like. You say like comic book stores, but like I'd also like argue like thrift stores still have that kind of vibe too, where you just walk in.
Maybe like thrift stores and pawn shops, kind of.
Yeah, pawn shops and shit like that. Edgar always says like, "You want to go in there?" It's like, "Nah, man, it's too fucking depressing in there." Like, I just don't want to walk in there and just.
It's dead.
It's dead, but it's also nostalgic, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't want to go in there.
But pawn shop or a thrift store.
A thrift store. Yeah,
you just get robbed too while you're at it.
You get robbed too. Yeah, so you get robbed of the thing that you just fucking bought.
I know.
I feel like one place that's like on its way there, or honestly, in my opinion, basically already there, GameStop.
GameStop fucking sucks. We made an episode.
Did we?
Remember we?
Remember the one you were talking about gaming. Yeah.
Don't go to GameStop. This is your daily reminder, listeners. Don't go to fucking GameStop. Support your mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
Or weirdly enough, go to Walmart.
Or just download it digitally.
Yeah, or just buy. Please don't buy. Well, certain things you can only buy digitally, but if you can.
The physical media on Amazon is still pretty good, guys. You can still pre-order stuff on there.
You want to support Jeff Bezos?
Well, I mean, there's that, but I mean, you're still buying it though. You're still buying it because at the end of the
Comes to
day,
my front door for
yeah,
me.
yeah. At least some commission of that's going to go to the creators. At least some. That's more than what most people will do.
Don't you have
Most
a
people won't
book?
even go. They won't even do that.
That's being sponsored by Amazon.
I do.
Motherfucker
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. All right.
That's true. That's true. But as long as some commission of it goes to the creators, I'm fine. I'm fine.
No,
And it's not anywhere else. So what am I going to do?
Bringing back Blockbuster and Hollywood and shit like that. I remember going to remember King Supers had that too.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little section where you could rent movies.
They did.
And
Yeah,
God,
they did. Yeah, in
it's-
their customer service section.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so weird going into those back in the day and just being like, fucking Along Came Polly. Like, watch that tonight. I don't know the reviews. You don't fucking look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. You just take that risk.
Mm-hmm.
Buy it,
That's
you
the
know?
great thing about like going to Blockbuster and all those places. Yeah, I remember when I first was dating my wife 20 years ago. We'd go out Friday night to a Blockbuster, and we would spend 2 hours at a Blockbuster trying to
Just
figure out
What you
to
wanted.
rent.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the times we would just leave with nothing.
But
But it was such a good feeling, man.
Josh, what you described is the equivalent of just scrolling on Netflix until you're like, I don't want.
I don't want to watch anything.
Exactly.
Literally,
No,
yeah.
absolutely, right? But then you also take the risk of like looking at a movie, reading the back. This seems interesting,
Right, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then hey, it's a sleeper. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Or my God, I will never get my $5 back.
Yeah.
God, dude, yeah, I remember that. And video games apply the same thing too.
Yeah.
Game Crazy, do you remember Game Crazy?
Yeah.
We would go there or Rhino Games too.
Oh yeah. I do remember Game
Fucking
Crazy.
Game Crazy. We would go in there.
Yep.
We would fucking.
Did Game
pre-order
Crazy
games
sell
and
movies
shit.
too, or at least some?
Nah, just that was a part of like Hollywood videos. Like you
Oh,
would go into Game
okay,
Crazy and
okay, I got you.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
We did the thing that you're not supposed to do, which is just rent it and never bring it back. We would do that with fucking games.
Yeah.
You did that with God of War, didn't you?
It's kind of like the library book that everyone forgets about, and you're just like, shit.
Have you done that? Have you done that? Or were you always punctual and like, all right, time to return this thing and
Yeah,
like
fees, bro.
Yeah, them late fees are a bitch,
Yeah,
bro.
you know, you like take it back, and then you have like this $50 late fee, and you're like, oh my God.
yeah, no.
you just
they
never go
don't pay
back.
that.
You never hold on to it. There's problem solved.
That shit builds up, bro.
Yeah, it
That's true.
does.
Not anymore, Josh. Not
Yeah.
anymore.
I think I probably got one late library book when I was a kid.
And
yeah, never did that again because that fee. Yeah.
Now
no.
you rent a movie on Amazon that you like watch like 2 minutes of it, and then it's like you now have it for only 48 hours.
Yeah, you have
And
to
then-
watch it.
And then it's like 47 hours, and you're like, shit, I can't watch it.
That's why I just buy it, bro. Like no one has
Yeah.
time for that, you know. So
Well, it's unfortunate that like
Yeah.
that experience of going into Blockbuster or like Walmart and like you can still do that with Walmart, I guess, but like you know,
don't go to Walmart.
don't go to Walmart.
Especially not for movies. Like
It's
you
the
know.
only place you can buy
Only
fucking
place.
movies,
Yeah,
man.
I'm telling you, get on Amazon. I know you don't want to support Jeff Bezos, but he published your book, okay? Be
No, I
quiet.
want to
So,
go in.
yeah.
I want to be like.
I get what you mean, though. I want that.
I wanna
I
wait
want
for
that
the
communal
associate-
experience.
How
you
are you
know?
gonna support
Yeah.
the Broncos? You know how you support the Broncos? You shop at Walmart. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true. Go buy Papa John's or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Is Peyton Manning still doing the Papa John's thing? Yeah, dude. It sucks that is dying out, but I think it's important to preserve that, to keep that going.
So
What do you got? You got something you want to?
you guys keep forgetting the fucking movie theater, man.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I went to see a movie today, so you know.
That is true.
Eventually, it may die out.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There may be no movie theaters anymore.
Those are haunting words for someone who wants to be a fucking filmmaker.
Yeah.
But it's true.
It's
that,
tough.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's true that like
It's tough.
I think
you know?
I even told you, I think COVID kind of fucked it up
Yeah.
because movies would get delayed or they would just add it to the streaming services.
Yeah,
Or just
so-
not come out at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the independent ones.
Us three did an episode of that before. It's been a
did we?
long time
Oh, I didn't
talking
know that.
about streaming.
Yeah, we
shit,
did.
so-
We did do that. It's
but-
like how streaming has affected
Oh,
modern media.
yeah.
we,
Yeah,
we
but
did
we're
that.
on it now. But
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
Because Furiosa didn't do well,
Mm.
and I think people wait because it knows it's gonna be on streaming in
Yeah.
a month or two.
or going back to reviews, they're like, I don't know if I want to spend like $20 to go fucking watch this movie. If people,
Yeah.
if so and so says it's all right, and it's like,
Yeah, it definitely didn't do as well as Fury Road.
You gotta take that
sadly.
risk again. You
know?
gotta go in there. Josh brought up Dune Part 2, watching it in IMAX, and you're telling me that like you're in the fucking movie. It's an experience unlike anything you've seen before.
So yeah,
you know?
it's like
yeah, dude. Every time I go to a movie theater, it feels like going to church. You just gotta be quiet. You wear your best fucking clothes. You eat your popcorn or whatever. You understand. Nowadays, I think partly another reason why movie theaters are dying is because of the etiquette. You know, not a lot of people will have theater etiquette.
Like,
you know,
there's perfect moments for like those moments to like
be
rowdy or like cheer. Like like the one that stuck out recent is Endgame.
Yeah.
Everyone cheered.
When I went saw that with my friends when Captain America wielded Thor's hammer.
Like those moments, those are appropriate to like go. Or whatever, right? And like I think we went to go see Evil Dead, the 2013.
Mm-hmm.
It was packed, and everyone, got scared in the right moments and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like those I feel like.
Oh man, talk about getting scared at the wrong moments. I remember watching The Dark Knight. And
in theaters,
there was a moment where a big explosion happened, and I fucking jumped, and the guy next to me was like, "You jumped at that, dude?" I was like, "Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for fucking pointing that out, man." Like, fucking asshole.
Oh my god.
I can't.
I think the only moment in that movie that got me was when I think was it Commissioner? No, it was when it was when Commissioner Gordon was talking to I think the mayor, and the Joker hung the dead imposter and like hit the window. Yeah, and like the music popped off. That scared me a little bit, but yeah, that's about it.
I remember watching fucking what's it called? E News, E Entertainment, whatever, and they were talking about like, oh, it's the Dark Knight's pre-sale tickets are selling a lot, and you and I were like, gotta get on that shit.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever waited in line in a movie theater when the line is wrapped around the building?
No, never had that.
No,
never had
to
that.
buy tickets, I think, but not to
feeling ever.
Yeah.
Really?
You know, I remember Spider-Man 2 came out. And
that had to be huge.
You literally had to wait in line for the movie theater to go inside. And we're talking about lines that just wrapped outside.
Blocks.
I'm there with a group of my friends. We're sitting down, we're playing cards, we're there for hours.
Some people are camping.
Waiting to get in. and you know, and then you just start eventually seeing, you know, nobody does that anymore. You can check in, right? Go on your phone, get your own personal seat, come in, you know, when you feel like it.
Yeah.
Your seat's always going to be saved, you know. Again, nostalgic. Things like that.
The only time I saw that was for Grand Theft Auto 5.
I'm glad you brought that up, dude.
But
Video
it was
game midnight launches,
it was
man.
like
Did you ever go to a midnight launch for a video game, Josh?
Nah, dude.
All right, cool. All right, well, that's right. We did that. Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I wasn't like, I love video games. I played the video games. I played a lot of what you guys played as well, but never had the urgency to go at midnight.
We did, dude.
And movies I rarely did as well. The only movies that I did it for was the Spider-Man trilogies. Like, those are the only times I was like willing to wait. Again, you know, greatest comic book movie of all time, Spider-Man 2. You know, you have to experience that for something, right? Something for that.
Dude.
I had a curfew up until about 5 years ago, so now I can stay out late, whatever. But I could not do that as a teenager. So
we did that. You remember we fucking did that?
If I was ever up late, I was like at a friend's house, but we never did no shit.
Well,
like that,
one memory that sticks. Well, two memories sticks to mind. One of them is fucking epic, which is Gears of War 3. I remember the next day I had to go to school. I think it was close to like spring break, so I was like, all right, it's fine, whatever. If I wake up fucking super tired. No, actually, what I was planning on what I was gonna tell my mom so I wouldn't go to school. I'm like, remember that? I had it all fucking choreographed, and so we were waiting in line. There were people like talking about their exams, their final exams, and all this shit. We went in.
To play video games.
Yeah. They were giving out fucking the games. We pre-ordered the console. Edgar saved up his money from his job to pre-order the fucking Gears of War console, and the motherfucker didn't give us the HDMI cable, so we couldn't play it that fucking night.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. And fuck GameStop.
But that's a good nostalgic childhood memory.
Yeah, it is.
But
bro.
then there's the second.
Would have been
memory.
depressing though. Oh, you get home.
The
it's like,
second
damn,
memory
I can't
is
play
when midnight launches started dying off. You remember when we went to a Call of Duty midnight launch and we were like the only people there, along with 5 others.
Which one? Which COD was it for? Do you
I
remember?
think it was.
World War II.
No, it was
Black
like
Ops 3?
Advanced Warfare or something like that.
Really?
It was one of those.
Yeah, you know that is
And-
probably around the time. Yeah.
And this guy,
Can you believe that game is 10 years old, bro?
the associate
crazy.
there had a fucking pizza box. And you remember, it was like, anybody want a pizza? We're 10 minutes until we give up the game. And everybody was just like, do you know why we're here, man? Okay, we're not here to be fucking fed. Give us the fucking game. That was when midnight launches were dying, dude.
Yeah.
You know, we don't do that. I think the last movie we went to a midnight launch for a movie, like watching a midnight showing, was probably Evil Dead, man. Right?
2013?
No.
2018?
Was there
Evil
another
Dead?
one that we saw at midnight?
Oh, like on midnight?
Yeah, midnight.
I don't want
Do they do that anymore? They don't do that anymore.
No, they
No,
don't.
they
It's,
don't do
it's
that.
only like
Yeah.
it's at 10 or
Now
like,
it's at fucking 6. You can watch it on
Yeah.
Thursday and
Yeah.
all that. Like, there's no more midnight.
You know what was the last movie I saw at midnight?
What was that?
M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender.
Now get the fuck out.
Are you for real?
Damn.
Are you?
You saw that in
Yeah.
theaters?
Saw it? Yeah, man. The freaking trailers looked amazing. I was super excited
Man.
for it. Saw it at midnight, and
How
then my
did-
buddy and I were booing the entire time.
Really?
No
Yeah.
joke. No joke. That was the last time I ever I went to a midnight showing. Actually, it ended up we had to because of work and stuff. We were like busy all day. We wanted to see it right away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And-
All right. So you had a reason to.
We somewhat had a reason.
Enough of a
Sounds
reason.
like an excuse, but
Yeah.
that was my last midnight showing.
I think my last midnight show was, and that movie I did not like it at all. But it was.
It was Avatar: Last Airbender.
No. I told you I had a curfew. Come on, bro. It was actually in 2020. It was like a couple months before quarantine. Uncut Gems. I saw that with a friend from high school. Yeah.
right.
We didn't like it.
What
But
you-
I
yeah.
think our last one, and it was fucking epic to end it that way, was the Hateful Eight.
Oh
my God!
Wait,
that's
so
right.
that was a midnight
That's
show at the
right.
Alamo?
No, not the Alamo. Okay, it was AMC Promenade over in Westminster.
Oh, okay.
It was the only theater that was showing in Panavision 70 millimeter. It was like the wide lens and shit like that. Me and Edgar were taking care of our brother's house and their dogs, and we were like, they're gonna have to suffer for the next 3 hours. We fed them, everything was good. But we were like, we have to go fucking see the Hateful Eight because this is a once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime opportunity. We went. They gave us a fucking pamphlet.
Yeah.
Well, when you went into the fucking theater, and it had all the characters, it had the story, like the plot and everything. There was an overture of the music, and then the movie played. There was an intermission, so the movie stopped, and you could hear people talking like, "Who do you think did it? Who do you think poisoned the coffee pot? Who do you think did this and that?"
Yeah.
And we were just like, "Oh, this is gonna be so fucking awesome, man!"
Yeah.
And then it was like everyone returned to their seats. The movie started up again. It was so fucking epic, dude.
That's cool.
It ended at 3:00 because it's fucking Quentin Tarantino. You
Yeah.
know, it's oh my god.
Let's dissect each one a little bit. Let's dissect like movies, music,
Okay.
comics, video
Video
games.
games. All right.
What makes them so artsy for us? You know, let's like there's a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a
Get to the
reason
core.
why, yeah,
Get to
we
the core.
love these things. It's not just because we're brainless,
Okay.
mindless individuals, right? There's certain reasons why
Okay.
we love this stuff.
Let's
What do you want to start with?
I'll go.
Please.
With what?
Whoa,
Movies,
keep your
video
shirt on.
games,
Edgar.
or-
Don't take
Okay,
that
let's
shit
start
off.
How about we'll popcorn? So Edgar, you pick a random person, and then whoever goes, they pick a random person. We'll do it
Okay.
like that.
So I'm
it's new.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah, you go first. You just pass it on. Not
Well,
literally
let's
pass
get-
the mic, but you know
Let's
what I mean.
talk about
Yeah.
comics because we all into it except for Maurice. So.
Well, no, I mean, I like comic books, but you guys read them more than I do.
That's what I was,
So I the way that I keep up with most comic books is there's this YouTube channel called Variant Comics.
Yeah.
They don't go, you know, Variant Comics. So they don't go through like every issue, but as a part of their video, they will show you panels and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I appreciate that channel because it allows me to,
Consume it.
embrace them without actually having to spend hundreds of dollars on them.
What about funny
so.
comics?
I mean, like what is it called?
The fuck is this? The fucking
No, I mean those are good too. What is it
kidding.
called?
What about the
you know.
funny comics, kid? Have you read the
No.
funny comics? How about Garfield?
Low key, I used to.
Josh, what?
I used to read Calvin and Hobbes a little bit. A little bit, yeah. It was funny. It was funny. Oh, but go ahead, Edgar. Go ahead,
comic
Yeah.
books. What were you going to say?
Okay, what was it? What was Josh?
Comics.
We're
You're-
dissecting.
You're dissecting
Oh,
why
yeah.
you
What
love
makes
why
it
do you
so
love
artsy,
why do you
dude?
love comics as much as you do. Yeah. And then remember to pass it on to whoever, and they'll talk about whatever.
Okay,
So, yeah.
like for example, when we follow comic book writers. We follow Scott. We follow Donnie. We follow Jason Aaron,
etc.
etc. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's moments too, and like you do it to me, I do it to you. Like, for example, one that stuck out to me was the Punisher.
Yeah.
With Jason Aaron. And I should, what do you think about this panel? What
Mhm.
you know? What do you think about Punisher doing this?
Yeah.
Or like the run on Max comics with the Punisher.
Mhm.
Like, dude, look at this shit. What fucking Punisher did.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
those are moments that you want to show
Yep.
to someone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or like
Or like a badass line that
a
you
badass
read.
line in a comic book. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, look what he said, or
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
there's moments
Yep.
like that. You get so like again giddy and like happy that
You want to share it
You
with
wanna
your
share it,
fans and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And I also collect comic book covers. In a
I was
sense.
gonna bring up variants and
Variants.
stuff like that.
There's artists
Yeah.
that I follow too. So when I
Argym,
see
all
like
those.
a new
Like a new J. Scott Campbell or what?
J. Scott Campbell or like Adam Hughes, like
Quick question.
I'd
Quick
like-
question. What's your favorite variant? Your cover
Oh my
of
god,
all time.
that's such a
What's your
loaded
favorite
fucking
favorite
question,
cover?
dude.
God damn it, Josh.
That's a
Come on,
loaded
baby.
question.
Come
dude.
on.
Okay, the one that stuck. It's a J. Scott Campbell one. Is the Mary Jane one.
When she's like sitting with the cup of coffee.
Yeah. And
Oh, that's a good one. That's a fucking good
That's a-
one.
that's a
That's
good
a good
one.
one.
That
That's a
is very
classic.
good.
Still
one.
got to get it though, but
Yeah.
I got the cat black cat version,
Mhm.
so that's kind of close.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my favorite one.
that's a good one, dude. That's a good
There's
one.
stuff like that, you know. Like I think I got you into comic book covers too. It's like this is
It's the thrill of the chase, man.
Yeah.
That's what
Mhm.
makes it artsy too. Is like you're attracted to the cover, even if you don't
I
know
can
what the
see that.
story is. You're like, I gotta buy it because look at the fucking cover. Or sometimes you buy it just for the fucking cover.
yeah. That's
You know?
You willing to throw down like some money,
what?
like for that to get that cover
Oh,
that you
fuck
want?
yeah.
Hell
Would you?
yeah.
We talked about this on the podcast, right? Like how much we've spent on a fucking variant.
Oh
before, right?
yeah, that shit.
It's been a
was
while,
wild.
but we've talked about.
I do remember that
before.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I've done that before for sure.
I think I seen it in Heroes. I don't think
The-
they'll have it.
The one I want to get.
So the other one is the Adam Hughes one, the Black Cat. I mean, Catwoman.
Which is holding the yeah.
Yeah, that one's
That's a
cool,
good
too.
one.
like
I was
that.
gonna say the you know which one, the Todd McFarlane Spawn
Oh,
Endgame
when
when he has a gun to his head.
And
Fucking
it's-
fuck, dude, that's my holy grail right there.
They
It's
have it,
expensive
don't
as
they?
fuck though.
They
It's
have it?
expensive
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah.
If I want it,
I like
so
the
bad,
Greg
man.
Capullo one too. He's like,
Polo, yeah.
like that.
But with his head when he's going like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Or come on, the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the first appearance of Wolverine. What's it called?
Oh,
With
181.
181. 181, right?
Wendigo's in the background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wolverine's,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
claws to-
Come on, such an
That's-
iconic fucking cover, man.
See, there's a lot.
The
like-
Wolverine when he has his like claws up.
Yeah.
No, Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Or I know it's not a. It's kind of a lesser known, but still popular. But like Wolverine leaning on
Oh, the
Hulk,
Gray Hulk.
the Gray Hulk.
That one's cool
Great,
too.
That's the, with the patch, right?
Yeah,
the
the
eye
patch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, we got a little off topic, but
Well, not like
still
stuff
kind of on topic too.
like
Yeah.
when you were reading doing Powerbomb, you were telling me like every panel's or like when you finish, it's like, dude.
Mm-hmm.
When someone tells you, dude, like
Yeah.
you know it was a great
Yeah.
fucking read. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, now I gotta read it.
But also, like, here's another thing too: is that something you can only get from comic books you don't get in movies is the page turn, dude. Turning the page, wanting to know what's gonna happen next, and sometimes you're just like, oh man, I don't fucking what's gonna happen, or you're getting ready for that splash page. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
You finish that one issue, it's so
Yep.
fucking good, and then it ends like a freaking Dragon Ball Z episode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
To be
And-
continued
Yeah,
on
you gotta
there.
wait for that
I hate
next
that.
issue.
The
Yeah,
filler
it's so
dragged on
fucking-
cliffhangers.
oh my
man.
God,
I
man.
swear to God.
Yeah.
You got any input?
On the comic books, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with all of it, dude.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Maurice, nothing.
I mean,
Yeah, comic
y'all
books,
said
I
it
don't
all.
know. I don't know, but
Funny pages?
No, I mean they're cool, but
All right.
You're gonna turn it to Maurice?
To me?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, I'm gonna talk about movies. And
Because that's yeah, right.
yeah. But I mean, if we want to get a little more niche, you know, my top 3 genres would be like action, military and war, and animation. But I'm gonna talk about action. So kind of like this kind of goes back to like Alberto's perspective on horror and like how I didn't really see it like as a conquering of fear, you know. But the reason that I love action movies so much, other than the fact that it's been my favorite genre for, well, I'll be 25 this year, for like 15 years, because, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark. But life is hard, you know, and there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of setback. And it just feels impossible sometimes, you know. So action for me is like when you bring like a good character and a good story, you just want to see them overcome. You want to root for them, you know. So, because I mean, action scenes on their own, like they can be great, but if you don't really connect with the people that you're watching, you know what I mean? Like imagine playing Resident Evil and then not liking Leon Kennedy. Well, it would suck because you don't care about him, right? You know. So the thing for me that like really inspires me about them is just seeing people overcome impossible odds. I think that's something that really inspires me. And, you know, even though I can't do what they do physically, it just kind of makes me feel like I can do anything. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, man, you know, I know I've seen Die Hard 100 times. I know John McClane will never actually die, but you kind of feel like he will, right? And
that's a mark of a good movie.
Exactly. You know, and that seeing people overcome, like, you know what, if they can overcome that, I know it's cheesy, but if they can do it, I can do it, kind of thing, you know.
That's a good mentality.
So
what is your greatest action movie of all time?
Man,
I'm gonna put everyone on the spot.
Whew.
Okay, just do that.
We're about to be here for an hour.
Man, it is a tough pick. I have to say something other than Raiders because I already said that one. Dude, it's a tough pick. It is a tough pick.
First thing that comes to your mind.
I mean, I know we've all seen it. I know we all love it. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough.
It's Bad Boys Burn or Die, right? It has to be Bad Boys.
Let me just say real quick. I grew up watching the Bad Boys movies, and the Bad Boys 3 and 4 are not directed by Michael Bay, and they are hands down the best ones. Like, it's one of those franchises that's only gotten better. I like the first 2, but honestly, 3 and 4 are the best ones. But anyway, best action movie of all time. Honestly, man, I know it's a cop-out because I've said it before. I'm trying to think of something more unique. You know what? I'm only saying this because I'm being put on the spot. This could definitely change. But
check one.
The action movies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I know I'm only saying this because I'm being put on the spot. But low key, man, I'm gonna go with Hard Boiled. John Woo.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
That actually is a pretty good one.
I'm gonna go with Hard Boiled.
I thought you were going to say T2.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. But we've mentioned T2 so many times. You know, we've never talked about Hard Boiled really. You know,
Hard Boiled is a
good pick.
classic.
Hard Boiled is fantastic. Like John Woo's one of my favorite directors. I love the action. I love the characters. The hospital scene, like that one take shot. Incredible.
He mastered the two-hand gun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, like the way I love the way like he inspired like the action cinema of the '90s just with that movie. It's incredible.
He also did Mission Impossible too.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about that one.
What's
guilty pleasure? It's not a good movie. The last hour is like really like fun to watch, but it's bad. It's bad. But yeah, no, Hard Boiled. Hard Boiled. For sure.
Greatest action movie of all time?
Off the top of your head, but just the first one.
Matrix.
I knew you were
Hell
gonna
yeah.
say that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that right when it came out in the movie theater. I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, this is very beautiful. I'm so interested. Guess what I'm going to do tomorrow?
Watch it again.
Watch it again.
Yep.
And it didn't take until a third time for me to actually understand that movie. And every time I see a movie too, I try to actually try to understand what direction the director and the writer were trying to go.
What they were trying to say.
They were trying to say, what their thoughts. And that movie, I feel like they did it perfectly. You know? And the fact that they took an anime and made it into
live action.
Like, come on.
That really is the first live action anime. And it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah. But anyway, Edgar, I said Hard Boiled for my top action movie. He said The Matrix. What about you?
Well, first, he was talking about like action heroes and all that. I'm more gravitated to like what's the word? Okay. Like you seen The Man from Nowhere? What would you call the main character? Because I can't.
Anti-hero?
Like he's
Not an anti-hero.
Like he didn't give up in life, but like
He was a nobody.
a nobody.
Yeah.
Like
He was a nobody. I think
a
that was
nobody.
the best way. And I think
Best
that's
way
what
to
made
get-
that movie so good.
like I gravitate more to those.
But it's just like the way I describe it is like he does what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need any fucking like.
He didn't want
know,
to.
he didn't
though.
want-
That's what made it so good.
Yeah.
You know?
But the fact that
Yeah.
he got it done is, I
Yeah.
think that's what makes it like, because like you can even say like Max Payne, right? Max Payne 3,
Mhm.
you know he doesn't want to go through all that shit again.
But he
It's
kills
like,
it.
It was like, dude, all right, it's time
Yeah.
to fucking pull out the old
guns.
Max Payne. I gotta fucking, you know.
Yep.
Same thing with Arthur Morgan too, right? Towards the end there, he it's like, all right, I gotta do it for the better of the.
Or even Logan. Yeah.
Yeah, Logan.
I
too.
gravitate to those characters. Though. I just like I don't know. It's
They've
like,
been
know-
through it. They're kind of
Yeah.
like they're in the nobody phase, and then they're
The-
kind
the
of like
way-
they're
Yeah.
called to action.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
what you're describing is like, do you just like cowboy heroes, dude? Like from
Yeah.
Western.
like
Yeah.
Western
Yeah.
classic
That's the
Western
kind of
hero.
characters you like.
Dude, have you seen Good, Bad, and Ugly, Edgar?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So do you like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that think that you.
I think yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do
that's-
definitely like
that's a
Western
good
Western
point.
heroes. Yeah.
Because-
That's the point.
Yeah.
I saw. I talked about it. I saw Bittersweet Life. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard about that one. Is that with Brandon Lee too,
No,
or is
no.
it who's in that one?
I don't know his name.
Okay, yeah.
It's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. That's what
No, it's not Bad Boys. Goddammit.
Directed by Michael Bay.
But you know that was on my list to watch for the longest time, and I even told you like that action scene to me tops Old Boy's action scene.
Which is that's a I told you that's a big,
Yeah.
pretty big claim.
And,
you know?
and just like you said, nobody, you know, and like you said, he has to do what has to be done. Basically, I like those type of
also
characters.
they have a troubled past.
Yeah,
Sometimes those
They're
characters
being brought
you
back
know?
in action.
So,
Would you put John Wick in that category too?
Yes.
Because I mean, he really was minding his own
See,
business, you know.
this
so,
is where all
yeah.
that comes from.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know what? John Wick is actually inspired by spaghetti westerns too,
Yeah.
and and like early neo noir films
I
as
thought
well.
you were just gonna
know?
say spaghetti and end it right
So,
there.
inspired by spaghetti, spaghetti westerns.
See, for,
Spaghetti
I
westerns.
was
Yeah.
I was looking at the wiki on John Wick,
Mhm.
and the director mentioned The Man from Nowhere,
Mhm.
and that's where my fucking
You
rabbit
went
hole
to the rabbit hole.
Began. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but my favorite on top of my head is The Raid. Top.
Raid.
That's a
Oh
great
my
one.
gosh.
That's a great one.
It's a good one.
That's
man.
a great one. I like both of them, but I gravitate towards the Raid 2 a little more personally. But just because I feel like the action's more creative, but they're both great. They're both great.
They're
Yeah.
so beautifully well done.
They're so
The
great.
story is that is just done by the action.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The Matrix done
The
by
Matrix,
the action.
yeah.
John Wick done by the action.
Hard-boiled.
And
Hard-boiled as
if
well,
if we want to
absolutely.
talk about like movies and why they're like why we gravitate towards them and why they're so artsy, it's like because they can show you the impossible
Mhm.
and make it seem
Like I was saying.
possible,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yep.
You know, it's like how the fuck does John Wick with pinpoint accuracy shoot someone while they're in the air going fucking getting hit by a car?
Or fall
But you
4
don't,
stories
you
out
don't
of a building
fucking
and just
care.
get back up
You're
and
just
keep
like,
walking.
that's John
Yep.
Wick.
Yep, he just
That's
did it.
what he's capable of doing. You know,
I think not only in the action. I feel like you can do that with like a
Any
thriller
movie,
or
any
like
movie,
a drama,
Yep.
Animation.
comedy,
Animation. Yep.
animation. You can always relate to something.
dude,
or like,
you want to talk about fucking like why we still love these things? Dude, Clerks talks about those things too.
Yes. Most relatable
know?
movie.
Mhm.
That's
Most
why everybody
relatable.
loves it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
that's you feel like a fly on the wall. You feel like, oh man, I'm
Listening,
part of
yeah.
this fucking conversation, you know?
Yep.
They
That's
do
why we
every.
love
They
this
talk
shit.
about everything that we talk about, but they're missing the video game aspect.
yeah,
What about you, Alberto?
yeah.
Action
Well,
movie.
yeah, action movie.
Top action movie of all time. And I'm going to challenge you not to say T2. All right.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say
All right.
T2. And I'm
Or
also
Fury
not-
Road, because we talked about that one too.
Oh man.
So
I'm also not gonna say
do
Fury
something
Road.
different. Do something different.
And I'm also not gonna bring the Raid. This
Give us a
isn't.
new
This
one.
wouldn't. This wouldn't be like my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's severely underappreciated, and it's kind of in the same vein as the Raid, and that's Dread.
Oh,
Yeah, very underrated.
Very underrated.
Okay.
Is it top 5? Debatable. I think a lot of people. Can
I need
put
to
on
watch
their
it
list.
again. I need to
But-
watch it again. Yeah.
I remember watching it not too long ago, and I'm like, this fucking still holds up. It's paced really well, And
Isn't that
the
based on?
acting's
Is based on a
fucking
comic
good, too.
book?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
It's also based on a comic book. Also,
yeah.
you know,
We have talked about that movie before, though.
Dread.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
I'll take it though because we haven't heard about it in a
That's
long
right,
time.
that's right, that's
No,
I haven't
and
heard
then
about.
we're
it in
gonna
a
talk
long
about the
time.
same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this
but
is
we I haven't heard
right?
about that in a long time.
Yeah.
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 Dread is good shit.
So yeah.
Yeah, I
Popcorn
think
that shit.
Yep.
just because I can't really think off the top of my head of like in terms of like action movies, because you said it, do like the Raid's in there. John Wick is a pretty obvious one to pick, you know. But I think Dread is just like, it took me by surprise when we watched it in theaters too.
Yep.
You know, I was like, God damn, this is like really well done.
The slow mo
You know?
was actually so good.
Is it
And
better
the
than Zack Snyder?
The fact that it wasn't forced and it was a drug made it so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
good,
yeah.
right? So that final scene when he like drugs Ma,
Throws
and
her
throws her out the
fuck,
window,
man.
and it's like slowed down, and you're like, this woman's going through hell right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so fucking good.
But now leading, so like, yeah, action movies do that,
Mhm.
where you watch it and you're just like, you're a participant. You're watching the action and all this shit. Now, a great supplement to that would be like, oh man, I want to play something like that.
All right, I'm gonna
And
popcorn to you, Alberto. Video games, go.
That's what I was gonna say. is
Video
video
games, yep.
games. I think that's why we always gravitate towards that too, because you feel it's like that power fantasy. Sifu. It's basically the fucking Raid. You feel like you're Rama.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're going through those fucking hallways.
Mm-hmm.
You play Doom. It feels like Mad Max. It's just a fucking, you're a
Fast-paced
Mustang car.
killer.
You're just driving, fucking
Yep.
killing demons. Or Resident Evil 4. You're like, I just want to mow down fucking zombies.
And
I
creatures.
want to feel
Yeah.
badass doing it.
And big
You know?
boss battles and save people
It-
and fight
or-
Jack Krauser too. Yep.
Or you watch movies and you're like, it's not as good as this game. I want to fucking play Metal Gear again. Because the cutscenes are fucking top tier. And it's something that can't be done in fucking movies.
Didn't I show you like dude,
You showed me the scene from 4.
before? Yeah, with Raiden and Vamp. Like, dude, I forgot how amazing that shit was.
And when you realize that video games are now beginning to influence movies, like John Wick 4, the top-down scene.
Yeah, yeah.
That was taken from Hotline Miami. Or
That shit was
Hong
so
Kong.
cool. That shit was so dope, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
that to me is why I love fucking video games.
Yep.
And as a filmmaker, I feel I'm at an advantage to be able to pull material and pull things from video games that probably filmmakers don't
Mhm.
as much, you know? And I
Yeah.
feel like I can infuse that into my scripts, or when I want to make one day be able to make those movies and shit. Like,
I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
a testament too, because obviously games were inspired by film, because before gaming was what it was, movies, But then, so now the fact that it's kind of flipped and they inspire each other is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think really the simple answer, the reason you like video games is because you can do things you can't do in real life. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, Josh,
So,
one of your
yeah.
favorite movies. What is one of your favorite horror movies of all time?
One of my heart. We
Yeah.
know this answer.
The
You
thing.
know
The
it.
thing.
The thing. Yeah. it's the
What's
thing.
a game that will make you feel like you're in that universe?
Dead Space.
Come
Yep.
on, dude.
Yep.
There's always a video game that can like accompany that.
Dead
movie.
Space feels a little bit like Aliens too,
Yeah.
especially the new one, like the
Yeah.
remake. Yeah.
You know the
Yeah.
advantage of video games over movies too is movies you're the fly on the wall, right? And you're
Yeah.
just observing the what's going on.
Yeah.
The video game, you are a part of the character. You
Yeah, I said
are
you're
the
doing it.
character.
You are there.
You're
Yeah.
the one that's going through the hallway, going to the corner.
Yeah.
You're the one that's being attacked. You're the one that's running for your life.
If the game is done right, you impact the fucking outcome of the
Yep.
story. Also, like, it's still to this day can't be fucking done.
Mhm.
You know.
One
And-
nostalgic video game scene. Finish what you're doing, but I want to ask you that.
No, that's
nostalgic video
a
game
nostalgic video game scene.
scene that has stuck with you for so fucking long.
Can it be anything or recent or what?
Could be anything?
Okay.
Anything.
From any video
Recent.
game, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I know we were talking about Metal Gear.
Are we popcorning this? Are we all gonna say this?
Oh, wait.
Okay, yeah.
You all gotta
Okay.
share.
All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
I think I have to go. The first thing that comes to mind is just the intro of Metal Gear, the first one, the music playing, and you just you're seeing Snake take off the fucking the helmet for the first time. So fucking iconic. Resident Evil, the first zombie. I know he talked about it before in terms of video game moments. That's very nostalgic for me. I think what's more nostalgic for me is the liquor reveal in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, that fucker.
Wasn't even a boss scene either.
For real.
It's fucking terrifying, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Enter? Like, I see the wheels turning. Like, you have one.
You know
or-
the computer screen on top of that. Yeah. The buffering.
Fucking
Yeah.
hate Josh when he does this.
Yeah, that's why
I hate
do
him
it.
when he
That's
does
why I
it.
do it. Do you want us to come back to you? Sir?
Yes.
All right.
You will okay. What about
Oh,
you?
me? Okay.
And I'm gonna challenge you to say nothing from the Uncharted series.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. What about Last of Us? Can I do Last of Us?
Oh yeah, okay.
Last of Us. Okay.
Not,
All right.
Not part 2.
Obviously, why would you even bring that up? We talked about this.
Not part 2.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say for a second like no Naughty Dog games.
Yeah,
Bring me
yeah.
something else. But go ahead. Last
Okay,
of Us.
all right. Yeah, well, I'd say one moment I remember from earliest in childhood was No Russian from Modern Warfare 2. That one was
That's
crazy.
nostalgic for you. That's pretty.
Well, I mean, only reason I say that,
Yeah.
only reason I say that was because it made the news.
Okay.
And
that is actually a pretty good one.
Yeah,
That scene
it
was
did make the
fucked
news.
up.
It was
It
like,
was.
because that, like, the whole video games are influencing violence in the youth and blah, 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 blah. So, when I played it myself, like, the first time, I was like, I don't want to shoot anyone, but then I feel like I'm kind of defeating the purpose. Because, like, it kind of plays with you a little bit, right? Because, like, you have the civilians at first, and they all have to be dead by the time you leave, but you don't have to shoot them. And then the cops show up, and then you have to shoot them. You know what I mean? So it's is it a bit convoluted how it pops off an entire war? Yeah, but let's be honest, those things do happen. And if an airport were to get shot up and an American was framed for it, and it happened in Russia, I'm just saying, would it pop off like Modern Warfare 2? No, it's a video game. But I mean, the social commentary behind it, I think, is actually really good too. Because Call of Duty won't do shit like that no more. Like the way they did No Russian in the new one is bullshit.
Yeah,
like I'm just like,
we won't.
yeah,
we'll be
no,
here
but
for
I
3
appreciate
hours talking about that shit.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that it had balls. Also, the part where Shepard killed Ghost in MW2, that was pretty, like, damn, So those are two. And Modern Warfare 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. So those are a couple. And then another one I would say, actually, I mean, it's more of a nostalgic game for me, but Over the Hedge is another one of my favorites too. Not really any like cutscenes, because that game is just like pure fun.
So just in general,
that game is just like it's not story driven. It's just fun. And because around that time they would make a lot of like movie based like games, and a lot of them weren't that good. But I'd say Over the Hedge is like, it's up there. It's really good.
What about
So,
you? Or should
yeah.
we come back to you? Or you look like you're. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is it, man?
Well, I don't want to keep bringing fucking Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Okay. Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yes, yes.
Anytime you fight a boss,
Yeah.
and has that setting in a fucking field or in a field or whatever,
Mhm.
and just that little window when he clicks his samurai sword, it's like
Yeah.
it's about to go down.
That game came out during quarantine. I got to. There's no
Yeah.
better game to play during quarantine, bro. Like Ghost of Tsushima was.
It's
Oh,
the
man.
other one that
Yeah.
sticks out is when you have to infiltrate one of the missions, and I think it is your uncle that tells you like we have to do it stealthily.
Yeah.
And he says, "No, I'm the ghost.
I'm about to fuck shit
Yeah,
up.
it's like, come on, dude. How can you?
Yeah,
you know?
It kind of plays into the meta too of
Yeah.
like doing the stealth, and the character's like, nah, you
No,
don't have to.
you
You
don't
know?
have to.
Yeah, I love that. That's cool. Yeah, I hate stealth missions too.
Gears
So
of War, man.
I just like to blow shit up.
Those
Honestly.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
shit in that game,
Gears,
too.
yeah. All-
Gears.
The one we all know which one.
When Dom's
Dom fucking
dies.
dies. Yeah.
That hit pretty hard. What about you, Josh? What?
I'm gonna do 2.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a new one. I'm gonna actually show Edgar some love. First one, Mass Effect 2.
Mm.
Intro scene.
Mhm.
Ship gets blown up. Main character dies.
Yeah.
What
What
the
a great
fuck?
way to start the game.
Great way to start the game.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what? We just brought him back to life.
Yeah, for real. man.
fucking
But it
great,
was a
man.
great, because you actually love the character in the
Even
first
the
one.
ending was just it
Yeah.
ends. It's like God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second, Red Dead 2, the first train scene.
Yeah.
All those guys on the bottom. And
Yep.
you have the choice to do the red eye and just kill them.
Yeah.
all.
Yep.
God damn, dude.
Such a fucking good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so fucking good, dude. Obviously, like, you know, a Village section in Resident Evil 4 original
yeah.
and remake, I think, nailed it pretty good.
It's so good.
Dead Space 2, man. I feel like we're just talking about greatest video game moments.
I
But,
know.
Yeah.
But that's the opening of Dead Space 2.
Mm-hmm.
Straight jacket, running
Yeah,
for your life.
no better way to open a fucking game, in my opinion.
Mm.
That's so fucking good. They take everything away from you in that moment.
Yep.
It's so good. God of War 3 also.
The opening,
Just starting right when you're about to
I thought you
fucking
were talking
kill.
about the sex scene.
That too. You know, spent so much time on that. You know what I'm saying?
Get those lives.
More recent was Spider-Man 2018, the first. You're pressing R2 and you're off. You
Oh,
go.
when you see it, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. The mechanics in that, like as a Spider-Man game, they're so satisfying.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's just,
It is
it's
so fun.
It's so bad that 2 is disappointing to me.
Get
Man.
out of here. It wasn't.
2 is disappointing. Man.
Was not bad.
It's not bad. I didn't say bad. I said it was just disappointing.
It's a little underwhelming, but I like it. It's
I
good.
still like it. It's
Yeah.
just I don't think it.
It's
holds
not
a
as
candle.
replayable as the first one to you.
Mm-mm.
Fair enough.
Well,
enough.
you
You
said no Uncharted, but like the second one.
The intro with the train. Oh, dude.
That is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. That shit's
is.
dope. That shit's dope,
That
bro.
is true.
That
Just hit
shit is
circle.
dope.
Just
Go left.
Oh yeah.
Triangle.
What were you gonna say, Josh?
What?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say something.
No, that was it.
Oh,
that was all the more nostalgic.
Oh,
okay.
the
Okay.
video game. Yeah, dude. That is
Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, I agree. What about music? Is there anything in music that like I
Hmm.
don't know, when the fucking album dropped and you had to go buy it right away or something? I don't fucking know. A song?
Hmm.
What?
I mean, we could be here forever, man. I think we should give a little bit to music and then show some love to TV.
Well,
So yeah.
The one that sticks
Yeah.
out to me is we went to the Westminster Mall and they had Sam's Goodies. You know, I think it's what it's called.
Sam's
Oh my
Goodies.
Sam
God.
Goodies or something like that.
You just unlocked the fucking memory for nothing.
He's like, yeah, I remember that place, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him back.
And
Jeez.
that day I was telling, what should I buy? Because I had my first paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
and I was passing by one, and they had a
There's
cart-
also there's also that movie, like
Uh-huh.
that black movie.
I know which one you're talking
Oh,
about.
I forget what it was called.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, I remember Sam's Goody, and then there was that it was like a little shot
Yeah.
of just movies.
Oh shit!
And it was like completely dark when you walked
Walk
in.
in, and then in the far back corner they had like the naughty section, like
Yeah.
hentai and porn.
Of course you would remember.
And then
that.
like there's like paper on it, and then you're like the kid. And they're
Hey, this was
like,
before the internet, bro. He had to do what he had to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
You
yeah.
Oh,
know?
boy, you please.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
unlocking all this giddy stuff, then.
Yeah, I was passing by, and they had the cardboard like stand
Cutout?
for like the new Korn album.
Oh.
And I was surprised, like, what? It's not even out yet.
Okay.
And I grabbed it, and even the guy said, "Yeah, we got it early, man." Like,
Nice,
and
dude.
I
yeah.
bought it, and yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know which Korn album it was? Do you remember?
Take a look in the mirror. I think it was called.
Okay, yeah.
It was.
See,
it was
I-
limited, I think it was a limited edition.
What was the one? What was the name of the one? I can't look at my phone right now, so I don't know. But it's the one with there's a little girl. She's on the edge, and all the kids are following her.
Follow the
Follow the
Leader.
leader. Yeah. That one.
Follow
That
the
one's
Leader,
that one's
yeah.
my shit. That one is my shit.
That one sticks out because it was like my first paycheck, and
Yeah.
that feeling of just getting it
Just
early
getting it,
and,
yeah.
and all that.
Or
Bump
50
that shit
Cent
in the
too.
car.
Yeah.
50 Cent,
Yep.
The Massacre, right? That's what it's called.
The Massacre, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one too. I wish I could say the same thing, but every fucking CD I bought,
No.
this is what I bought the fucking Black Eyed Peas, dude. At one point,
Mm.
for my, I bought Black Eyed Peas. My dad was like, "It's your birthday, go get what you want," you know. And I was like, "I'm fucking buying Black Eyed Peas and the new Gorillaz album. Why? I don't fucking know." It just has the one song that I like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna go ahead and.
That was
pick
the only
up.
way to do it back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Circuit City also had the going in and like they had it in the weird fucking packaging, the fucking CDs and shit. Papa Roach, I think, was one that
Mm.
brings me back. I forget the second album, the one with the baby doing this shit.
Oh, the little, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that brings me back. I just seeing you buy Lil Jon from the East Side Boys, the one that had what song was it called? Oh shit!
Which
What was-
one?
It was the one that he's like known for, man.
To the window.
No, it's not that
Not
one
that one.
either.
No, to the
What,
wow.
What You Gonna Do or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That. I think I have more memories with hip hop music.
Yeah.
It was weird that song, the Skeet song, that was in one of the Need for Speed games. That game was rated E for everyone.
Oh, really?
And it's like, do y'all know what Skeet means? Like, why is this in this game? My grandma's like, this is like, what are you listening to? Like, it's not me, it's the game.
Do you guys remember Stacy at JCPenney's?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I do.
I remember like every time we'd like do a walk around the store, I'd be like, skeet, 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 skeet. And she's like, Josh, you can't do that.
The fuck?
That's not appropriate. I just remember like randomly, we'd just be like doing these walks past where we'd be like, skeet, 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 skeet.
That's funny.
She would get so mad at me.
What the fuck?
Oh man, Josh, you can't do that.
Oh man.
What about you, Josh? I mean,
I'm
like,
weak.
for in terms of music, like,
Man, the obviously, I talk about like greatest rapper of all time, who's my favorite, anything Biggie Smalls, but who sticks out album wise that sticks out the most for me that I had to like really follow to a T every time it would come out was Linkin Park.
Hell yeah. Hybrid Theory, bro.
Theory,
Come on, bro.
the
Meteora.
second one, Meteora.
Minutes to Midnight. Yep.
The third one that came out.
Yeah.
I was a fan of their fourth album. But
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason, like those are the albums that I had to get day one. Like they stick out the most. I was a really big fan of them.
well, how long did you spend trying to take off the little fucking sticker on the top so that it wouldn't?
I'd pick, you pick, and then you just keep picking, and then you mess up. And you only take off like a little piece.
Bit, yeah.
Then you have to like go get scissors, and then you don't have a scissor that's like sharp enough, and you're just like.
Or sometimes you're like confident that you're like, it's gonna open this.
Oh yeah, when you just open
And
it.
then you're like, fuck, it's not opening. What the fuck?
So I bought 2 Hybrid Theory
Oh my God.
CDs, and the reason why is because the first one that I bought, I don't know if you guys remember it, but the first album, for whatever reason, it was paper. It wasn't in a glass album.
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's like a
Oh, I
paper
get
cover.
what you're saying. I
It
get
was
what
a
you're
paper
saying.
cover.
Okay, I got you.
It was
The
more of
packaging was like you're
yeah,
saying, right?
it was like you slide it in.
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of-
Yeah.
I ripped it.
Oh, did you rip the CD at the same
No,
time?
not the CD.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
The cover.
Just the cover? Yeah,
So I was
okay.
like taking it apart. I was like super excited. I ripped it. And I threw it in the trash. I went back to the store and I got another one.
I did that with the video. Remember I did that with the video game one time?
Yeah.
I bought a new one and we went in the car and I was like opening. I was like, why the fuck is the wrapper so fucking hard to rip
Yeah,
off? And
yeah.
then you're like you're fucking wrapping, like you're tearing off the actual plastic. I was like, oh my god, I'm such
Yeah.
a fucking moron, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, those like taking out the booklet sleeve and then trying to also like put it back without fucking up the packaging. Also, like
It's
damn,
rough.
man.
You know what I missed about the CDs as well is, when you had the manual and then it had the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that's sick.
You're listening to the song.
That is sick. Yeah.
Pop song, whatever, right? And you're just literally like going through the lyrics.
That
in your
was
head,
that
you're
was
just
like
trying
genius
to-
for us when you go online.
memorize
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
man,
Yeah,
such an iconic time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most favorite song to listen to over and over.
Favorite song to listen to over and over?
Yeah.
Damn.
That you
I got
can't-
too many of
got one.
those. I got too many of those.
Just one.
man.
Just one?
Just one that
Uh,
comes to mind.
My Girl Wants to Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy. I think that's like.
Are you-
it's good.
are you-
No, it's good. Not that one.
It's a good song.
It's a good song, dude. Unironically, it's a good fucking song. Okay. I use it in the TikTok. Damn. Let's see what a song that I can
Anybody?
listen to
Yeah,
over and
spit
over.
out first. Whatever you guys got.
Uncommon Valor by Jedi Mind Tricks.
Okay.
That shit's hard.
Jesus Walks by Kanye West.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Are you joking? You just
No,
really...
I'm not joking.
Okay.
dude.
That album was like so good.
Yeah.
You want to talk about albums?
I don't fuck with Kanye,
Dude.
I
but
had to fucking get.
but
every
College
new
Dropout,
Kanye
yeah.
album.
Yeah,
You know?
that was.
I had to
You
fucking
gotta
do
get
that.
that.
Late
College Dropout and
registration.
Graduation for sure.
Dude, come on. That,
Mine's is Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge.
the bridge. Or by the way, not by the way.
No, it's Under the Bridge.
All right.
Hell yeah.
What are you gonna say? Do you look offended by that, Josh?
No.
He's offended?
I'm trying to think.
Oh.
Are you trying to think?
Can we just throw them out till we free, like, yeah. Okay, I'd say another one would be My Own Summer by Deftones.
That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good
I
one.
listen to that one a lot too.
Love Story by Taylor Swift. I think is a good one.
Mm-hmm. I Knew You Were Trouble, since we're on Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You probably
Yeah.
cried when you heard that song.
Yeah. I'm sure you cried to some songs, Josh, right?
Only
Don't.
weak people cry. Go ahead, Al.
Blind by Korn.
Blind is a good one. Blind is a
That's
good
how.
one.
That's weird. That's how I'm watching. I think he has it. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's at the ending when he's walking
And you hear the music?
and you hear Korn.
That-
Live.
Yeah.
That's
album.
how I got introduced by Korn.
Okay.
that was the way you got into
You
it?
know what? You know how I found Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah.
The Matrix. They have a
Yeah.
song at the
Yeah.
end of the Matrix called "Wake Up." That's my favorite one.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, I would say like anything Boys to Men.
Okay. End of the road.
End of the road.
End of the road,
River,
hell yeah.
River runs.
Their Christmas album is great too.
You know,
I love that.
I'm a soft spot for Boys to Men.
Yep.
Wow, dude. Yeah.
Dude, Hypnotize.
By Biggie.
This is the dumbest song ever, but I fucking love that song.
Rock My World by Michael Jackson.
Oh hell yeah. Anything Michael Jackson. I mean, come on, man. It's Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
It's Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Temptations.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
I think. Well, not yet, dude. Nas.
Oh, Illmatic.
Illmatic.
NY State of Mind. NY State of Mind. That one is stuck in my head
That's a
like
good
crazy.
One mic.
Yep.
One mic.
Yep. Oh, Life's a Bitch. Life's a Bitch. Then you die.
Yeah, that's
yep.
a good one.
That
too.
one
That's a
too.
good one too.
Shook One's Part 2. Mobb Deep. Rock Superstar. Cypress
The
Hill.
LL Cool J song,
You know.
the milk cereal or something like milk.
No, that one.
Cereal. I think that was it. I heard that when I was at work and I was putting up ad and I was like, "The fuck, dude? Shit's fucking awesome, dude. That's so great. I like that." What, is there another one for you? You said "Blind" by Korn. What else sticks out, dude?
If we're on new metal. What's that one Evanescence song?
Well, while you're thinking, well, what about like what's a Linkin Park song that you not your favorite, but one that you listen to? Like,
Faint.
Oh hell, Faint was the first one I heard. You know what was crazy? You know, I did not know that was the name of the song because you know it's the I won't be ignored. I thought that was the name of the song for the longest time.
Dude.
Weird enough, it was the early 2000s. I saw that there was this one horribly like animated drawn website called Newgrounds, and it was this video called Pac-Man Attack, and it was basically like an animated horror version where Pac-Man like kills all the ghosts in like brutal ways. It was horrifying, but Faint was the song that they were playing during that video. So yeah, Faint is good. Faint is good.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
by you, Eder?
One that's underrated is Points of Authority on Hybrid Theory.
Oh, that's good.
That shit's hard. Yep. So, yeah.
God, do you really having to dig back through to fucking think of a?
Music
got one?
takes you back, bro. Music takes you back.
I mean, come on. I have to say, I just brought up Papa Roach. You know, like, is it called Pieces?
Which one? Oh, I think so.
The one that they're known for. You know, yeah. I play that. I know Mana, dude. Mana. That's those guys are fucking good. Shit, dude. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
in terms of songs that I listen to like over and over repeatedly, I can only think of ones that I listen to like now. You know, like more recent stuff. I know you guys probably won't even know this, but like Future Islands, I know you know them. They're like a pop synth band, and like their newest album, just been listening to it on like repeat. Is there albums like that for you, Josh, where you just like
Listen to on repeat?
well, I guess more so like album that you can listen to from beginning to end, no skips, like for you?
That's a good question. I have a few of those. For sure. Yeah.
No, I don't. I think that's what I'm missing out on.
Yeah.
You don't have albums that
Like I'm at a
you know,
point in my life with music, and I probably have sold out.
it's just you pick songs.
I like the song. I don't remember the last time I listened to an album.
Really?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say that, right?
Yeah.
That's what the world is turning us into.
Yeah,
with,
that
like,
is true.
movies and things like that.
I've been doing that lately, like listening to albums, you know, like especially the ones that are considered one of the greatest of all time, just listening from the beginning to end, like just knowing like, oh, why would they place this song at track 3, or why do they end it with this song? And it's just you start to think more about it in that way, you know. So
The structure of it, like
Yeah.
the story it tells, yeah.
To me, is the first Korn album.
Is that is
really?
it Follow the Leader? Is that the first one?
No.
Which one's the
it's
first
just
one?
called Korn, right?
Just it's called Korn.
Goes called
yeah.
Korn, the debut?
Yeah.
Okay.
But looking back at it, you know, I was listening to like when I was 10, right?
Yeah, that's
And
probably
there's
that
some
probably wasn't a
dark
good
fucking
idea.
shit
That's
that he
Corn
was
is fucked up. Corn is
a
definitely
pretty
fucked up.
fucking heavy subject
Yeah,
matter, dude.
especially the first one, dude. Like, yeah. But like, I would listen to beginning to end. Even the last one. If you know the last one, you know,
they would get canceled for that shit
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
not canceled, but it's like it's
Well, it's a pretty controversial shit, right?
it's a,
Yeah.
just a dark subject.
Yeah.
Subject matter.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I would listen to that from beginning to end. You know.
Quickly, Maurice, what are the albums that you can listen to from beginning to end? No skips.
If I could think of 3 off the top of my head, what's it called?
So
I should know
we're
this.
gonna start wrapping this up here after.
Yeah. The infamous Mobb Deep. I could listen to that all day. It's one of my favorites, one of the best hip hop records of all time. Love the infamous. For rock, I would say one of my favorite modern bands is Bad Wolves. Their debut record is called Disobey. It's the one with the song Officer Down. You guys might have heard of. That one is really good. And then soundtracks. So the first Hans Zimmer soundtrack that I heard was from Crisis 2, actually. The game.
Interesting. Oh.
The epilogue to that is incredible. But yeah, I would say probably. You know what? No. I mean, I'll mention to that one, but the first real soundtrack that like I heard, like score I loved as a kid, was actually from Ennio Morricone, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Ecstasy of Gold, that song in particular, I could listen to the whole soundtrack. So those would be 3 I can listen to all the way through for sure.
Damn.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this has been a nice like trip down memory lane for all of us. I'm
So
sure.
weird. Like, it was just like, why we love all this, and we just ended up okay.
Yeah, here's this, here's that, here's this.
Hey, I mean, I think
Hey, that's what we
My
do,
bad,
bro.
my bad.
Hey, no, I mean that's what we do, bro. That's what we do. Yeah.
I think we covered the
Yeah.
main topic tonight, and we just started to indulge in some
ramble a little
pretty-
bit, but I mean it's still on topic.
Mhm.
It's still cool. It's still cool. Yeah. So
Yeah, it. I think the thing that people should be taking away from this episode is like, dude, look, preserve physical media.
yes,
Go out and buy those movies. Go buy those games.
go see a movie when you can.
Go to the fucking
And
theater.
if you really about this shit, see the movie and then pre-order the 4K when it's out. So
If you're not
yeah.
a comic book fan,
Get into it, man.
get into it. Go to a comic book store.
And if you're like me, watch Variant Comics.
like
so,
like you
yeah.
like Josh said, I think that's one of the last places that you can still walk into and feel like a kid again.
Mm-hmm.
So support your local comic book shops. Right? You still go to comic book shops, right? Every so
Absolutely.
often. So
I'm waiting to see you guys at Hero Headquarters.
I read.
what
pretty
days do you
often.
go?
Yeah,
Josh?
that's
Like,
Random. What days do you go?
every
What-
Thursday
Thursday or
and
Wednesday?
sometimes Fridays.
What
right?
time?
Like one.
Yeah,
One or
one-ish.
two.
Yeah.
Just text me when you guys are there.
We're not gonna fucking wait. For you.
Sometimes you guys do
Because
know
you go
that.
during break at work,
Yeah,
right? You
you
said,
literally
yeah.
my store is down the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
What store is it?
I'm not saying it on this podcast.
Okay, well I'm just gonna.
I'll tell you guys afterwards.
Fair enough.
All right,
Fair
all right,
enough.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I can think in my head, and I'm just like,
But embrace your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
Yeah.
your inner child. We're all kids.
Have fun,
You know,
man.
have
Like
fun.
I know life is hard, but like, have fun, man. Like,
yeah, and
have fun.
don't feel ashamed if people tell you like, oh man, why the fuck are you reading comic books still, or why are you still playing video games still? Like, dude,
If you if you actually read that shit, it's really not for kids.
What?
No,
Comic books.
No, it's
video
really
games,
not.
You know,
It's really
they
not.
are for you. They
look,
are for
the
us.
most let's be honest, the most popular entertainment is like filled with violence and sex and cursing, and you know what I mean. It's like it's marketed towards children, but is it really for them? Not really. Not really. You know.
yeah, and
Some of it is like Nintendo games, but you know.
like I was
yeah.
gonna say, like right now, the state of the world with everything that's going on, without getting too in depth, yeah, you need an escape. And if that escape for you is listening to music, watching TV, your favorite TV show, playing video games, to go for it. Like,
I would challenge that too. Not just an escape, but an inspiration.
I know video games are expensive, and that you have to be selective and shit like that. But still, man, like just pick a hobby, get into it, even if it's late in life. Like, start creating those golden memories now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were lucky enough to be a part of that era with like VHS movies and DVDs and shit like
man,
that.
I miss VHS so much, bro.
And
I
yeah,
miss
that's why we try
VHS.
to, like Josh said, just embrace our childhood and preserve what is still left of that.
Yeah.
Theaters is like the last bastion of entertainment where you can just go in and just watch a movie, unspoiled by critics. If you're, lucky enough not to be spoiled by it. So, I think that's the main thing to take away from this. Thank you guys, Maurice. Thank you, Josh, for joining us on the podcast.
Always.
I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble on and like talk about all this shit that we love. I'm gonna plug our socials because we didn't do it in the beginning. It's Call Two Bros on Instagram. It's the same handle for TikTok. I'm now doing TikTok.
Doing well.
I don't know why I keep saying TikTok, but look, guys, it takes me 2 hours to make one TikTok. Right? I'm not fucking joking with you. It takes me 2 hours to make about a 3-minute TikTok.
I think we can minimize that time. You just got to call me, Alberto, because I've been I've been on TikTok for like 3 years now, bro. So,
but I say that
it shouldn't take that long.
Please like my TikToks. Please follow me on TikTok. I really do put effort into it.
He does.
Yeah, and
man.
a good segue to like what we were talking about tonight. You can watch me on TikTok talk about games that you might have forgotten about. So, from us here at Two Brothers and
a black guy
and
Edgar's friend.
Just Edgar's friend.
Edgar's friend.
Exclusively. Fuck us, right?
This has been fun. And we will see you guys on the next Two Brothers podcast.
Peace out, y'all.
That's it.
Yeah.